when I give a quote of my rate to a potential client, it comes from a place of feeling like they already can't afford me. It has been exactly 1 year since I quit my full-time job in pursuit of full-time income while being a freelance video editor. After all of this time, I do have some thoughts for my younger self that could help you on your journey of being a video editor or being a freelance video editor. Take more risks. It's funny that I say this because I feel like I have taken more risks in this past year alone than I have in most of my 20s. In my 20s, I had my healthcare paid for. I lived with my parents. I had plenty of reason to take risk and plenty of comfort to do so.
Because deep down, you're still just a scared little boy.
You have a lot more time than you think in setting up your career, in setting up what you want to do. If you even know what you want to do when you are younger and in your 20s. Maybe that was part of my problem. Maybe I didn't even know what I wanted back then. My version of risk back then was just trying a lot of different things that didn't necessarily align with what I thought that I wanted to do. I think that in terms of my video editing career, I actually put that more on pause because I was afraid to take risks in that world because I was insecure about my own skill level. Take risks more on the things that you are passionate about instead of the things that you aren't. If we haven't met yet, my name is Colleen and I am your video editing mentor. It is my duty in this channel to help you get a video editing job and to help you get paid doing what you love. So for more tips on that, be sure to hit subscribe with the bell so you do not miss a thing. Expand your collab potential. Now, there are a lot of reasons that I regret going to film school, but one of the reasons that I don't regret it is because I did get to meet a lot of very awesome people there that did help me grow my overall network of film friends, of people that I could maybe potentially collab with. Having said that, I now am a lot more outgoing than I was even 5 years ago. And so a big problem with going to school for the networking is I still was so incredibly shy. And so I think I didn't capitalize properly on networking with people like I should have and making more deeper connections versus just on the surface level connections. Hi, how are you? Being friends with everyone, but still working with the same type of people and being essentially too afraid to go up and meet new people and introduce myself as a video editor, especially to try and get in career-wise with other people who could help me. Knowing the right people is a humongous factor in getting where you want to go in a field like video editing. And I think my lack of deep connections in this area is maybe why my journey was a little bit more extended than other people's. Don't be afraid of competition. Now, I never really thought that I was insecure about my video editing skills until maybe midway through college. I think I let my insecurity get the best of me. And instead of going all in on improving my video editing skills, I started letting myself get distracted and started gravitating towards things that I didn't feel like there was as much competition. And so I felt more confident in those things.
You're trying to quit, and I'm not gonna let you.
But healthy competition can actually be a really good thing, especially when you're in school. It can help you to learn new things and it can give you a kick in the pants if you need it. So don't avoid competition, use it to dig deeper into the skills that you are passionate about and that you really want to pursue. You're worth more than you think. Even now, I struggle with my rate and deciding how much I'm worth. It's all too often that when I give a quote of my rate to a potential client, it comes from a place of feeling like they already can't afford me, feeling like I already need to give them a discount, rather than just being blunt and transparent, giving them my rate as if it has no emotional ties or connection to it, and just seeing how they respond. If it's too much, then it's too much. It's very rare that a client has come back to me actually saying that's too much, which now that I think of it is probably a sign in itself. So when in doubt, just stick to your full rate, or at least tack on an extra $5 if they're asking for your rate. Just tack on a little extra just to test the waters. And for more details on how to get your first job as a video editor, you can always check out my Skillshare class and receive a free month of Skillshare just by clicking the link in the description below. Don't be afraid of creativity. Now, creativity can stem from a lot of different things. For me, it correlated very nicely with reading and fantasy and 90s Y2K computer games about when I was 11 to 13. Now, unfortunately, that spark kind of faded away pretty quickly when I went into high school. I became incredibly distracted with my insecurities, boys, like a lot of different things, making friends, and I kind of really let all that cloud over my own inner creativity. Now, in the past few years, I have been spending more time realigning with that kind of just relentless, fearless creativity that is surrounded by the things that I like, essentially, no matter what anybody else thinks of them. And so when I say don't be afraid of creativity, I really just mean don't let your insecurities, your lack of confidence towards things shield you from what probably made you creative in the first place. What shaped your very core of creativity as a child, as a teenager, or as an adult, no matter how nerdy or quirky those things are. Reconsider film school. I know, I literally just got done saying that competition is good and that networking is essential. And hear me out. Film school has a lot of benefits to it. It paints this picture of the perfect opportunity for you to combine creativity and technology and to work with like-minded other individuals like yourself. And it's just so worth the money because you're gonna come out being a rock star and you're gonna be able to work in LA and start working for big box movies. Now, I have personally witnessed many of my classmates and colleagues pursue incredibly different paths after film school that really had nothing to do or required film school. And of course, this then brings up the argument, are we too young when we decide to go to college? Are you too early in your development to really decide what you want to do with your life? Which I firmly believe is true. I think that if I would have tried community college first, like my mom so gracefully recommended to me, or maybe just taken a year off before going to school, I think I would have been less coerced by myself to pursue something as expensive as film school. You were born to be a boss. I think that if I would have told myself this when I was substantially younger, I probably would have rolled my eyes, I probably would have laughed. The thought of working entirely for myself with no boss and no real schedule really would have sounded crazy to me. The thought of hiring people sounds even crazier. And yet, here I am.
King in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair.
Sometimes, if you're going through your journey and things don't quite seem to be working out exactly the way you planned, don't give up. There are tiny paths within paths that you are going to take that are going to lead you towards something that aligns perfectly with what you maybe didn't even know that you wanted to do. I know that that happened to me personally. I never would have really thought I'd be in this specific situation. And yet I am at the happiest that I have ever been career-wise in my entire life. And it only took me about a decade to do it. Enjoy the journey. Again, there tends to be so much rush to get where you're going and so much like anticipation to get where you think that you need to be. It took literally years of failing and falling and rejection for me to land essentially where I'm here now. I can't really regret or want to take anything back because I am so grateful of where I am here now. Our world, at least in the United States, is so centered around capitalism and the fear of making money, the fear of, being independent. That itself led me down a lot of paths that were not aligned at all with what I wanted to do. And again, that is okay. I mean, it's been a little less than 10 years since I graduated. In that time, I can't even count the amount of jobs that I have had and the amount of opportunities that I've had or the amount of opportunities that I've turned down or got rejected on. It's all part of the journey. And it's something, of course, how privileged am I to be able to say that now in a place of comfort and contentment, but it will happen for you if your passion is there and you are mentally aligned with what you, at least, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, if you are aligned with the feelings that you want, if you are aligned with the good that's going to come from the money that you make from whatever you end up doing, if you're aligned with those things, then the rest is gonna just work itself out for you. Don't let your ego get in the way and tell you you're not good enough or be afraid of competing with other people. It's all so small in the grand scale of things. When you're like looking at it from years away, you're like, wow, like why did I let all these things get to me? And it's like, I get it, The film world is competitive. The video world, the creative world can be really competitive, but it can also be incredibly collaborative and inspiring if you could just put aside your pride and your ego and your fear, mainly, and just enjoy the journey as it comes to you and just exist from a place of creativity and love, and then everything will just work itself out for you. Now, enough cheese. If you have been struggling in the area of confidence in your video editing skills, confidence in your ability to be able to get a job as a freelancer or as a video editor, I really want you to check out this video next, which gives a deep dive into my tips that have helped me in these past 10 years that I think will really help you boost your confidence as a freelancer and as a video editor. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, please hit subscribe if you haven't already for more tips on video editing, freelance, lifestyle, and creativity. Thank you to my team. Again, I am Colleen and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.